So as we head on over to the other era of sports cars and GTP racing, obviously you have a Dan Gurney GTP car here.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the 6 he built for Toyota.
Wow.
A Gurney Eagle, and these were the last of the Eagles that were built. And quite honestly, this car, these model cars, the Mark IVs, were pretty much put an end to the IMSA racing back in those days. They dominated everything in 93 through 94. This is one of the 6 that he built. There's only 5 left.
Okay.
One of them burnt to the ground during testing when they first built the car. This has a better history after its racing career than it did during its racing career. This particular car, which I bought from Dan.
This wasn't purchased directly from Dan
Right
Gurney.
from Dan, yeah.
Wow.
And I've raced it quite a bit. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I had it at the Midi, they call it this year, Road Atlanta.
Okay.
Prior to that, I've had it at different places around California Speedway, and I'm trying to remember where else. But I mean, people love this thing when it shows up.
The history of this thing.
Well, a guy walked by the trailer, by the front of my trailer, and saw the car, and I read his lips, and he goes, "No way!" You know, he's reading. I mean, so you know, being that it's the only one that races, it's pretty unique. Anyway, since its retirement, which was at Del Mar a few years ago, quite some time ago, as a matter of fact, Tim O'Glock's driven it, and Juan Fangio have driven the car at different vintage events like the Goodwood Festival and things like that.
So Juan Fangio was actually, if I can recall, a Gurney driver, correct? He
and P.J. Jones were the ones that captured everything back in '92 and '93 with these cars, and won both championships both years, and I think 21 of the 27 races.
Well, and Timo Glock obviously is a current Formula One driver.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of horsepower, a little 4-cylinder engine, I take it?
Yeah. It's takes a little bit to get going, but once it does, it's. I mean, the thing about this car is the ground effects, and it just sticks to the ground. I mean, a guy at my age just has a very difficult time driving a car like this, because you just won't believe that it'll do the things that it does.
Wow.
And I do remember now, I raced it up at Portland, and I started second and won the race.
Good. So it actually has a good history now in a professional sense, and it's retired in the vintage side.
I don't know how. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but I mean, you have to be young to drive these cars for 2 or 3 hours, which is the way they drove them back in those days.
Well, the physical demands are.
Yeah, I mean, you are just thrown against each side of that seat to the point I got out, my arms were sore.
Wow.
And I was only out there for a few minutes in relationship to the 2 or 3 hours these guys used to run them. So
wow.
Yeah, it's an unbeliable car.
Well, obviously the
thrilled to have it.
Oh, I bet the Gurney GTP era, the GTP era, IMSA GTP era, there in that time frame was just.
It's renowned.
Renowned, exactly. And does Dan ever give you a bad time about this car?
No, I mean, he probably, you know, like a lot of things, he probably liked to have it back, but at the time it was, you know, he wanted to get rid of it, and I was there to get it. So thrilled to have it. I'm glad it all worked out. He had it up for sale for as I learned later, for quite some time to a lot of different people, and they all turned their back on it, and thank God they did.
Well, good. You have a lot of history here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, you bet. I'm thrilled to share them with you.
All right.